all of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Gee.
Well, it's been a while, but as you know, life happens and we need to take a little break before coming back strong. And here we are, 2024. As Katt Williams said, all lies will be exposed. Well, we'll see. We're just beginning 2024. I hope you all had a happy new year and a Merry Christmas. And here we are, a new year, and things will happen. It'll be a crazy year. We are officially in an election year. Election season has officially begun. Of course, you know the front runner is Donald Trump, but who will he face? That's a mystery. Well, we find out soon enough. But today, I wanted to talk about a certain video that came out not too long ago between Shannon Sharpe and one Katt Williams that's garnered, I believe right now, maybe 400 million views in just a week. Amazing, amazing. But Katt Williams had a lot to say about certain quote unquote comedians and musical artists that, well, so far, as far as I'm concerned, has not been refuted. Has not been refuted. So I'm wondering, is Katt Williams legit or full of shit? And I think it's the former. I think it's the former. Because, again, no one has called him up saying, nah, come on, man, you're lying. No one has made a public statement saying he's lying. No one has done anything. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. And I want to thank all 150 plus subscribers so far. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. You won't regret it. I will make more videos. I'll be more consistent this year. 2024 is going to be an interesting, very interesting year. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell, get notified of future videos. Like this video, get spread to the masses, and leave a comment below and tell me what you think about Katt Williams and his comments to certain individuals that we know very well. Well, at least we know in the public light. We don't know what happens behind closed doors. Now, without further ado, I'm going to go and get into this exchange that Katt Williams had with Shannon Sharpe. Then I'm going to add a little more about what other lies will be exposed this year that at least I think will be exposed and have already been exposed, because really like over a week in and some things have come out. But I'll get to that. And without further ado, let's begin.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You fucked off promo shoots. You fucked off your promo trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what, I gotta fix me.
Pause. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It did happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Be the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty. And they'll just go out and they'll lie. The industry doesn't mess with Katt because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you that no studio has ever lost money with me on the script.
Now, I'll say this. Kevin Hart, in my opinion, has never been funny. He was on that movie as a customer. I think it was 40-Year-Old Virgin. And ever since then, that's the earliest I saw him, okay? And ever since then, he just blew up in terms of popularity, stardom, out of nowhere. And I've seen a couple of his stand-up routines, maybe more so clips, actually. And it's usually just him being loud and boisterous. It's not something like he's kind of setting up a joke slowly, calmly, and then boom, 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 punchline after punchline after punchline. You know, it's more just antics. Look at me. You remember more of his, theatrical, movements and exaggerations rather than what he's saying. And for that, I don't see him as a funny comedian. I don't see him as a comedian at all. I would say that, yes, he does fit the definition of a quote-unquote plant. But I'll let you decide. That's just my opinion.
Whatever's heavy on my heart is always on my mind. Like Snoop's cannabis shredder, I'm always on my grind. They throwing shade cause niggas could never take my shine. I bring my watch collection on my jet, let me take my time. Like fine wine, I'm aging like Benjamin. Top 5, I'm worth mentioning. Bring me rappers, I'm lynching them. See the pendulum swing, Jesus with diamond thorns. Ludacris, swaddled in Gucci linens when I was born. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati. And I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm married with kids, the evolution of life. Never been a clout chaser, never say shit for likes. R.I.P. John Singleton. You never have to flex when you earn every one of your Fast and Furious checks. Afro with the sideburns. Yeah, that's my signature. Addiction's on the rise. Comedians check your temperature.
Everybody overlooking the fact that nigga Ludacris, he responded with a rap song. That lets you know how fucked up this shit is. Nigga, if you say I've been at a gay party getting fine, I ain't finna make you no song, nigga. I'm finna call you a motherfucking lie. Why you nigga call that? Nigga, I'm gonna call you on your phone, nigga. You lying. You ain't seen me no mother. That nigga made a rap. That nigga responded with a jingle. Say, that lets you know he guilty. Nigga come back with a rap song. A hell of a rap song. Nigga ain't rapped in 20-some years. This nigga ain't made a rap song in 20 years. Soon as Katt Williams say, hey, I seen you coming out that funny room though, nigga. With walking bow-legged, you were knock needed before you went in. Your thighs were rubbed together. You come out of that bow-legged.
Are you related to Luda?
No, so there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us, and decisions had to be made. So it was both of us, we were equal. One of us had to cut off all their hair and couldn't do the sideburn thing no more with the points. And the next person, they said, was going to get $200 million because they were gonna pay him $10 million a movie to do 20 movies. And that's how the conversation happened. One of those persons turned out to be Ludacris, and the other person turned out to be Katt Williams. Now, one person ended up with a light-skinned, ugly-faced wife that's never done a... Remember I told you that if I say that, it applied to 7 people?
Yes.
It's part of what they give you. Okay? I didn't get it. I'm not mad about it.
How much money they give? 200?
Sir, Fast and Furious is on what number right
10.
now?
200 million. I might need to get me one of them old women look the same.
That's what they all end up saying at the end of the day. Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay. It's all right. And the reason I had to come is because you made a safe place for the truth to be told.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Rickey Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in.
You stole the show in Friday After Next. Yeah.
This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike.
Wait.
And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus.
And somebody said, no, we want you to play Mike.
The thieving
Mighty
ass
Mike.
Santa Claus.
Right, and then, yeah, because Katt Williams is going to be the Santa Claus.
Right.
Now three quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home.
Friday After Next come out, I get my kids, where we going? We're going to the movies. We're going to see Friday After Next.
Right.
But they didn't know I was in the theater.
Right.
He wasn't even at the premiere. I'm in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and what?
And then, and they switched it over.
Right.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me.
When I auditioned for Mighty Mike.
Right.
You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days?
Did my role like in 4 days.
Right.
They shot all my stuff in 4 days.
The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Rickey Smiley was okay with.
You know, so when I went in there to audition, I'm at the toilet. When Katt Williams went to use the bathroom, that's the line I had to use to audition.
I put in my contract that I won't work with Rickey Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Rickey Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday?
Big movie, then I end up doing First Sunday.
Yep.
Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract. This is not even my church. I saw this on MySpace.
All of the parents that keep bringing their babies down here to get baptized without giving them a hot bath.
What's cracking? It's your homie Ice Cube. Just wanted to address a few things. You know, everybody been checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams. You know, first of all, I just want to say, you know, we shot that movie over 20 years ago, so, you know, people have different perspectives, and it's been a long time. I also want to say, you know, every comedian that I've worked with, every comedian that I've put in a movie, I only put them in the movie because I thought they was funny. I thought they was perfect for the part. I tried to put them in a position to win. That's what it's all about, you know. I don't, you know, I look at from, you know, Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac and Mike Epps, Katt Williams, you know, Rickey Smiley, Michael Blackson, Cedric, Kevin Hart. You know, all these guys I know are funny as hell. You know, I didn't discover them. You know, they were doing their stand-up or doing their thing, and I knew that they were great and that they could act, and that, you know, if I have an opportunity, I was gonna give them an opportunity. You know, to me, that's what it's all about. You know, as far as, you know, specific things, you know, Katt was 100 on a few things. Most of what he was saying, a couple things, you know, I just want to clarify. When we bring in a new, you know, comedian, we do have them try out for different roles. So Rickey did give Money Mike a shot. But when we saw him and, you know, we kind of saw how he moved and how he was, auditioning, we decided that he would be a better, Santa Claus, which was, to me, the perfect casting. When we saw Mike, damn, I call him Money Mike. When we saw Katt, when I saw him, I just knew that he was perfect for Money Mike. Katt, said he wrote his role, which, the role was written, but he enhanced it. This is why Katt was so dope in the movie. Money Mike had a small role, about as big as the Santa Claus role, but when we started filming, he was giving us such magic that we kept expanding his role, giving him more to do because he was on point. When we shoot these movies, for one, the scripts are fire, or they wouldn't even do it. The scripts are laugh out funny. But we shoot the script, and once we get what we need from the script, we let the comedians ad-lib, riff, play with the words, do their thing. We give them a take where they can, or 2, 3 takes where they can go off and do what they feel. Sometimes it makes the movie, sometimes it don't. When somebody gives you jewels, you want to try to make sure that makes the movie. So in the movie, there's second thing I want to clear up. I would never shoot a rape scene in a movie, especially like Friday, where you actually see this happening on camera. That ain't my style. If you check out any of my movies, they're not raunchy. We did a movie called Players Club where the subject matter was a little raunchy, but for the most part, even that, we left it to your imagination. So the only reason that kind of stuff is in the movie is because you have 3 villains in Friday After Next. You have Santa Claus stealing presents. You have Damon, just got out of prison, sweating. Craig and Diddy for the rent money. And then you have Money Mike, a pimp that treats his woman, like a property. So Craig is always fighting the villains in the movie, from the Joker Brothers to Debo. And so we already had Craig fighting Santa Claus. And the only real way to get rid of the other 2 villains was to have them go against each other. And the plier joke was always in the script, was never, we would never ever show that, that's not my style if you look at any of my movies. So, that was never a discussion, we, at that point in everybody's career, we would listen to a certain extent, but we wasn't gonna change the movie for any actor. We do what we feel, and if it was a rape scene, it would have been in the movie. There was no reason not to shoot it. But that's not my style. I don't even like that kind of shit in movies, on camera. And so, that was, to me, a little discrepancy there. Katt, he wrote a lot of his part because, like I said, he was giving us jewels, so we were keeping the camera rolling. He was coming off the dome. He was coming prepared every day to steal the show. That was his mission. And, that's what he did, with the movie. And it launched his career, And I'm proud of the movie. I'm proud of all the guys who've, come through, a Q Vision production and went on to do bigger and better things. And look, You know, a lot of people are talking about pay and how much they was paid on these movies that were extremely low budget. You know, most of these guys work a couple of days, you know. And when you're doing a movie, there's over 100 people working on the movie that need to get paid. Most of them got to get paid every day. And there's pre-production and post-production. Even after you finish with the actors, you got to pay editors and sound people. And my movies are all about quality, so most of the money go up on the screen. I'm not giving you no bullshit. I'm not giving you no low budget, you know, shit you can laugh at because it's so cheap. So, you know, we try to put all the money on the screen. And so any actor that's mad at what they got paid, you know, just look at what you was doing. Look at where your career was at the time. You know, take a look at where it is now. And Friday has something to do with that, I believe. And I put a lot of people in movies, but they ain't never put me in a movie. So you can take that for what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? I've given a lot of these guys opportunities. And I still act, so I'm waiting for a call. I ain't got to produce everything or write everything. I got love for all the comedians that I've worked with. Got, you know, much love for Katt. You know, he spoke up for me a lot. And I just wanted to be clear and clarify some things. And shit, man. I hope y'all have a good 2024. Yeah.
Cedric did the same thing. Cedric told you when you asked him, did you steal Katt Williams' joke?
But Katt say you stole one of his jokes. Yeah.
He said it don't line up.
He's even talking about don't even match up with no timelines.
How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019 and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Doesn't line up. This is a televised joke.
Feels that someone else has stolen some of your material?
Oh, that's a part of this business.
Right.
Same Steve that went to go watch Marc Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Marc Curry had.
Oh yeah, you'll need this.
A whistle? Oh, Marc, I'm teaching music, not gym.
Standard issue. Screaming for help only excites the kids.
Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and he...
First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mr. Hightower, and I'm your new music teacher.
These dudes lie. Cedric's sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach.
This is some internet shit, and that's all I can say. So, you know.
Sitting over here, why I'm not a movie star. What? Anybody that ever told you differently was a fat Faizon liar. There's nobody like me in the business.
Faizon just caught a straight.
Faizon said that getting a Netflix special is easy. I have 12 specials. Guess how many Faizon got? 0.
Okay, but seriously though, if you look at your career, have you done better with stand-up or acting?
I have, you know, it's almost time to retire.
Okay.
So I don't make any money.
If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows.
Years later, I had, at one time, 7 TV shows running concurrent on the air.
Only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows.
Years later, I had, at one time, 7 TV shows running concurrent on the air.
Him and Steve had already apologized for me, so I gave him a pass for a decade. Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Katt 30 times
You know, even before then, I've seen this guy 30 times. Like, dog, if you literally was that upset about it, like, dog,
just
why
step to me and say, hey,
yeah,
hey,
why
say
you
what
say
you
nothing like that?
And Katt didn't do. As I stand before you, Shannon, I would have bust Cedric's stomach. Change the content because that's all you know me for, is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Now, something real quick about Steve Harvey. When he had a talk show where he would have guests on, he had Monique come on his show, and Monique was in a situation at the time with Netflix in terms of pay for her stand-up being featured on Netflix. Now, what Steve Harvey told Monique opened my eyes in terms of Steve Harvey's integrity. Check it out.
This is Monique, man. I'm telling you.
Baby, he be saying it like I'm a problem.
Oh, you have been a problem.
Well, Steve, okay.
What was it? Let's go.
Let's go.
You started getting labeled as difficult.
Yes.
Why do you believe that happened? And do you see that changing, and why?
I got labeled as difficult, my husband and I. And my husband is Sydney, who happens to be my manager. We got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. Now, I said no to some very powerful people. I said no to Oprah Winfrey. I said no to Tyler Perry. I said no to Lee Daniels. And I said no to Lionsgate. And the difficulty came in when people that look like me, like Oprah, Tyler, Lee Daniels, and I gotta put my brother Steve on the list. Y'all knew I was not wrong. Each one of you said to me, Monique, you're not wrong. And when I heard you go on the air and you said, my sister done burnt too many bridges and there's nothing I can do for her now. Steve, do you know how hurt I was?
But Simone, now let me give you this. Because you and I had this conversation, I thought you went about it wrong. See, I felt that you had done yourself a disservice by the way you chose to go about it.
Tell me how I went about it.
I was cool with you, with your deal with Netflix. I was cool with you. The two problems that we had, number one, the boycott of Netflix,
yes.
We never gave people a point of action. Okay, if we're gonna boycott, are we gonna not get subscriptions? Are we gonna turn it off? Or are we gonna go down there and get signs? The second point, what was coming to me was, this problem that you had in Netflix is rich people problems. Cause they looking at us going, you talking about you didn't get millions. Well, you got this, you ought to be cool.
But when you say, Mo, it's the way you went about it. And I want to explain that, and I thank you for saying that. Inequality is devastating, and it's extreme. And when people said, Monique, do you think calling a boycott was extreme? You damn right. But isn't inequality extreme? So we've got to get to a place where we're unafraid to say it out loud.
Okay.
What I would have loved, what I would have appreciated from my brother was had you picked up the phone before you went on the air and said, Monique, you've burned too many bridges and there's nothing I can do. See, I would have appreciated had my brother called me up and said, baby, let's talk. Because you doing that was a part of me being difficult.
But not before that though.
Yes, baby.
Remember the moment on stage?
Oh, yes.
See, now that
right
was
a wonderful moment,
No,
Steve.
it wasn't.
Oh,
Monique.
my goodness.
No, it wasn't.
That was one of those moments.
See, no, it wasn't.
That Richard Pryor whispered in my ear and said, say it. You say it.
Richard
because
Pryor did
I'ma
not
tell
tell
you
you to say that
yes,
with
he
your
did.
crazy ass.
Oh, baby, yes, he did. Yes, he did. I do not regret, as I said on the Steve Harvey show, I do not regret one moment of that night on that stage.
No, in case you don't know, Mo told Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, and Lee Daniels to suck her private parts.
Not my private parts.
Well, you said if I had one, I want them three to suck my private parts.
Yeah.
It wasn't private parts on stage. So now, then I went, I quit breathing. I quit breathing for you.
I didn't.
What happened to you, Mo, was when you made that statement, the narrative got flipped. It wasn't about Netflix no more. It wasn't about Netflix no more. The attention was all off of where we needed to go. Huh?
That was before Netflix.
So good. So now when you bring up Netflix, it don't get no win, but you done just said this to these 3 people. And these 3 people,
yes,
not because they're powerful, but because of who they've come. And what happens is, I told you, we can't cure darkness with more darkness.
What we can do is cure it with comedy. And what I'm not gonna do, Steve, I'm never ever gonna waver from my comedy show on that stage. That's my gift, and that's my freedom. And what happens is, when you allow people to start taking your freedom and your gift and making it become what makes them comfortable, we then lose. When you called me with the morning show on the phone, I said to you, Steve, my family is suffering behind this. And y'all know I did nothing wrong. Y'all know my husband did nothing wrong. But none of y'all in real time, was strong enough to go publicly and say, we can't throw our sister under the bus.
Because Mo, listen to me. We fighting 2 wars here.
What war?
There's 2 wars. It's what your issue is, and it's what the perception of the issue is, and the narrative has changed.
See, I'm hearing what you're saying, baby, and I agree with it when the narrative changes. But if all of y'all said, this is the only issue I have with it, baby, when all of y'all said privately, to include Oprah, all of y'all said privately, I've done nothing wrong.
When you tell the truth, you have to deal with the repercussions of the truth. We black out here. We can't come out here and do it any kind of way we want to. Listen to me. Your husband can't be the Sydney that he really is out here.
Let me tell you something.
That flexing,
Let me
we
tell
gotta
you
flex
something.
a different way. We out here in a game. This the money game. This ain't the black man's game. This ain't the white man's game. This
the
the money
money
game.
game. But I'm
we
gonna
in the
tell you
money game.
something.
And
We're
you
in the
cannot
money game.
sacrifice yourself. The best thing you can do for
This
poor
is why I
people
love
is
my
not be
brother.
one of them. You cannot
We're in
help
the money
them
game,
all.
but let me tell you what the game is
Cannot
before the
help
money
them
game.
like this.
Before the money game, it's called the integrity game. And we've lost the integrity worrying about the money.
But Mo,
and wait a minute.
If
wait
I
a minute.
crumble,
if you
my
crumble,
children crumble, my grandchildren crumble. I cannot, for the sake of my integrity, stand up here and let everybody that's counting on me crumble so I can make a statement. There are ways to win the war in a different way.
All my enemies all look the same in the eyes, whether it's Faizon, Wanda, Aries, Spears, they all look like.
Man, I remember on the radio, you went on a radio interview. If I'm not mistaken, that's in Atlanta.
Right.
And you came on there with seemingly good intentions. And she attacked you.
It wasn't just that part. It was the fact that before I go in there, she has a conversation about, okay, now, I just want to talk to you because you just won an Emmy for the city of Atlanta, and this is in Atlanta, and they just want to hear about the Emmy and hear from you and to thank you for what you did putting the city on.
Right. Okay.
And we won't talk about your kids. We won't talk about jail.
You're good at telling us about what's going on in jail.
Not the right one that Jones on.
Get this inmate out of here. And you're big
Turn
in
it
prison.
down.
And you're
Yes,
big
ma'am.
in prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19
several
felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah,
Knock it
yeah.
off. Prison and jail aren't the same. No.
Okay,
No.
Calm
No.
down. Calm.
No cases. We ain't gonna talk about none of that.
Right.
And immediately gets in there and goes the opposite way.
I said what they like.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I said what do they like?
Just because you're a poor interviewer doesn't mean. Never gonna say anything disrespectful to people that look like you. It's a very thin line. Only one of us has $12 worth of jewelry on. Shout outs to Forever 21 necklace collection. They tried to kill me this same weekend. Not in jokes. With a real gun in my real face on real camera. Understand I'm losing my life for participating in something that goes along with my job. Like, it's 2 comedians. What do you mean?
That she said it was going to be very professional. Oh, you won an Emmy, congratulations. You put the city on, you own for the city, yada, yada, yada. And now, did she mention anything about the Emmy on camera?
I believe you saw the video and you know. If you can't get your blood pressure down, you can't call me that.
Whatever, little mama.
If your cholesterol is 600.
Whatever, little mama.
I'm little mama's baby daddy.
No, you
weight class.
Is that what you wanted to do?
No.
That she was out of her league when it came to, because
I didn't want to do any of it.
I know you didn't want to,
do any
but once she took it there, did you feel that you had to go there? Oh, you
go where?
You could have said, Wanda, I didn't come here for that. I just want to do the interview. I just want to talk about what happened.
Oh, you misunderstand my job. My job is to be funny. Ha ha! My job is to be funny first. This as a learning experience. Most comedians don't get booed enough.
Think about this. You're stuck in traffic and the lights turn blue.
Oh, you gonna laugh, you gonna lighten up.
I mean, this is how you end up with a Michael Blackson, who's a real African doing a fake African accent. Okay,
Stop, you mother suckers!
Pause.
Happened. You know what? I mean, I'm not gonna say me and Katt been like, you know.
Huh?
This guy is mad at me. All I did was give him the best advice of his life. Remember, he was wearing dirty dashikis. And I told him he needed to dress to be in the position that he's trying to say that he's in. And if you're the African king of comedy, sir, there's actually comedians in Africa doing comedy. If you
For the African king of comedy, ladies and gentlemen, this is Michael Blackson.
Gotta put in some work. And these guys, they take my advice, they change their whole persona, and then they hate me for it. And
you know what? I mean, I'm not gonna say me and Katt been like, you know, best friends or we're friends, but we're more like always been like associates. Like, you know.
This is the reckoning. 2024. And never has sucked a penis. That was my only goal. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go, pick up.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying?
And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
Now, this video won't be all pro Katt Williams. There is a different argument that can be made by what he said in particular about Kevin Hart being a plant. I want to show the clip briefly of Chato Jackson's reaction to Katt Williams calling Kevin Hart a plant. Take a look.
He makes the accusation that Kevin Hart is a plant.
No one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show. He already had his deals when he got here. What do you think a plant is?
I hear that, and I can see where he's coming from. But then I asked the question, a plant to do what exactly? Like, what is
That's
Kevin
what I'm
Hart
saying.
doing?
Tell me.
What is
What are
Kevin
you
Hart
talking
doing
about?
as a celebrity that all of these other celebrities, plant or not, aren't doing? If Kevin Hart was doing things that are crazier than your average celebrity in terms of trying to lead people in a certain direction, then I would say, okay, that makes a lot of sense. He's not doing anything any different than all of your run-of-the-mill celebrities. So plant to do what exactly? As far as I see it, between the two of them, Katt Williams is the one who seems to be a plant insofar that he uses this platform to reinforce this conspiracy of anti-blackness and this myth of white supremacy.
Racism takes many forms. A guy like Herschel Walker barely lost an election. So that goes to show you what type of black people they like there.
Because we black, they say, oh, you don't even deserve that. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. Time and time again, they show you that you can be sidetracked by anything light-skinned.
The narrative that he projects only serves a kind of debilitating and self-sabotaging effect in so-called black culture. It seems to me that if some kind of mastermind wanted to plant celebrities in order to control people, the celebrity in question will likely be the one who uses his rhetoric to reinforce this kind of fear of white supremacy versus the one who seems to get along with everyone and doesn't act as though he's more oppressed or less oppressed than his colleagues.
So I'll leave it right here. If you want to watch the entire interview, I will leave the link below in the description. Please take the time to watch it. It is a couple hours, but to me, it was a stand-up comedy special in of itself. So I was entertained, and I think you will be too. But do you believe Katt Williams? Do you think he was telling the truth about all this, or do you think he was embellishing, exaggerating? Now, I will say, I don't think he read 3,000 books a year. That's a lot of books. So I think he's exaggerating in that. However, the stuff he said about Friday After Next, Steve Harvey, Michael Blackson, Kevin Hart, I would lean towards it being true. You know, maybe not 100% true, but the majority of it being true. But what do you think? Please comment below, let me know, and let everyone know. Get the conversation going. Is Katt Williams telling the truth, or is he full of it? Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you again for the 150 plus subscribers thus far. It will be a great and very interesting 2024. And until the next one, take care.